This is the story of the Sunken One, a dark and intriguing mystery of an elf who claims to know the true horror behind the reason that Kvatch burned. When making our way northeast under the auspices of the ruined city of Kvatch, we find ourselves at a small farmstead called Shetcombe Farm. We head inside the farmhouse's main wooden door, which is adorned beautifully with morning glory. Inside, a pop-up reads, "I've entered what appears to be a recently abandoned farmhouse. Perhaps if I search around, I may find a clue as to the owner's whereabouts." Looking to our right, we find a trio of chairs with a stain on the carpet. No, nothing sinister seems to have occurred. Near the fireplace, we find it empty and a knocked-over candle, plus some scattered barrels which hold contents of little value. In the southern end of the room, we find some makeshift fruit and vegetable bowls with a lit candle. The produce doesn't seem to be off, so the inhabitants must have left recently. And to the northeast, we find a bed, which is still made. In the center of the room, the drawers at the end of the bed still contain the occupants' clothes, so they didn't pack for their trip, it seems. Sitting at the dining room chair, trying to make sense of what has transpired, we see in front of us a bowl that's empty, save a page from a journal that reads, "As midnight approaches, I still watch the fires burn. The great city of man, Kvatch, lay in ruins. They didn't heed my words. They didn't listen to my voice. Now they are all paying the cost of ignorance. The Sunken One strikes swift and hard. He swats those who oppose him as if they did not exist at all. The excuses of man fall upon deaf ears. The Sunken One has no pity. He has no mercy. He only sits below and passes sentence. And now, with a mighty stroke, he's toppled one of man's pitiful blights on his land. And yet, he still hungers. His appetite is voracious. Kvatch will not be the last city to fall by his hand. The world of man grows more and more corrupt, and it angers him. The man's lies and deceit will be his undoing as the Sunken One grows impatient and no longer waits for or accepts the proper offering. The burden is mine to shoulder. I am the last who knows of he who shakes the ground. If I do not bring him the offering, who knows what city may fall prey to his whim? Anvil? Coral? Or perhaps he will turn his eyes on the greatest boil of all, the great imperial city itself. No, I must not let that happen. I must get the offering to him like my father did before me. Man may be fallen in his eyes, but they must have time to learn the Sunken One's teachings. Destroying man now would be a waste, when I'm certain that given the chance, they will come to see his ways. Yes, I will do this thing. I will brave the depths of Sandstone Cavern to see him. My weapons will be my will and my word. The Sunken One will watch over me and guide me. I must depart soon before it is too late. If anyone finds this page, let them know that I, Slide Serengi, do this for the good of all man." Shocked at this revelation of a true horror that was responsible for the city of Kvatch burning, we indeed head north to this Sandstone Cavern and our journal updates. I've come across a discarded page from a journal of Slide Serengi in an abandoned farmhouse near the ruins of Kvatch. It mentions some sort of pilgrimage to bring an offering of great value to something called the Sunken One. All signs point to Sandstone Cavern nearby. I should proceed there, as I fear for Slide's safety. Just to the north, down the hill, we find a few dastardly imps flitting about carefree. Taking care of the nuisance, we see nestled within the rocks is indeed this Sandstone Cavern. At the cavern's entrance, we find all manner of flora, as if lovingly adorned in deference to the one who shakes the ground. It's clear Sarengi was looking to appease his god. Once inside the gullet of the moist cavern, we creep about its innards. We find ourselves at an opening and see a few stray wolves that appear to have made a den in here. With these hostile wolves felled, a third wolf lunges forward to defend its habitat. And we begin to look around the cavern, finding a few treasure chests and broken crates, as if Slythe had been stockpiling all manner of goods to appease his god. As the cave begins to fork in two different directions, we head to the south, and it should be mentioned as we begin to clear the cave of the loitering wolves that this cave specifically is filled with leveled creatures, so at level, say, 30 plus, we would be encountering dregs and trolls and all manner of stronger creatures, though not necessarily the Daedra that we'd encountered at Kvatch, which makes us think, why is this Sunken One, connected to the ruination of the city, not summoning scamps or clan fear? However, as we ponder on this mystery, we pause at a small makeshift camp that no doubt Slythe had found respite in, wondering how he had fought through the slew of creatures that had barred his path on his way to make the offering. Heading north-northwest into a large cavern, we're then set upon by the pervasive imps. Searching more of the chests of Sarengi's offerings, we see a crevice that leads deeper, wondering how far these caverns go, and if they re-emerge into Kvatch itself, where the Sunken One appears as a subterranean mastermind, striking to aid the Mythic Dawn in their attack, or perhaps lead it. Who knows? But Slythe had mentioned his father used to leave offerings to this Sunken One. Why would a Daedra be down here for so long? How would it be connected with Kvatch being felled when the Oblivion Crisis seems to be so recent? Pondering a moment by Slythe's fire on the Sunken One's true identity, motives, and alliances, we pause to heal our already numerous wounds before resuming our journey. These are just more questions we ask ourselves as we head down the western tunnel, clearing out more of the den of wolves and finding treasures Slythe had littered about. It's only as we make our way deeper into the cave, fending off another wolf, do we see a fallen imp from above where we had just come from, and to our right find a chest with a brass ring and 12 gold. Atop it is the second journal entry that reads, "As I descend into the depths of Sandstone Cavern, I wonder to myself, why? Why would the Sunken One test me so? Have I not been loyal? Have I not spread his word? Have I not obeyed his laws? This journey has been cruel and unfair. I've met my end more than once. I don't know if I can make it to his home. But no, I cannot think this way. I must get there. I must see him. If I do not, then the world of man is doomed. I dare not tarry longer, as I do not wish to suffer his wrath. I must get the offering to him. With Sarengi questioning why the Sunken One tests him, I should press on and see if I can locate him. Making our way into the southern sandstone big rooms, we cannot help but worry for Sarengi. Even though these are low-level creatures, how would one man get past them? And what did he have to do to get so far? After contending with more of the nefarious imps in a large pit by a bonfire no doubt Sarengi had lit to guide his path, we pick up 16 gold from the chest and could head north. However, this would lead us just into more large rooms with more treasure scattered about. And really, if you've seen one room in a cave, you've probably seen them all. Instead, we begin to make our way north-northeast into an eerily misty trench which is below the rooms that were just mentioned. On the floor, on his side, lays the corpse of Slide Sarengi, the Dark Elf, and her quest updates. I've located Slide Sarengi's corpse. I should search around to learn the conclusion to his sad journey. Lighting our torch, we find next to Sarengi a sack filled with pearls, 20 gold. Filled with pearls and 20 gold, no doubt the offering for this Sunken One. Is this an agreed upon offering to deter the Daedra? But why would they need petty gold and trinkets? It's then looking on Slive's body do we find clogs, a simple monk robe, and a journal page that reads, I am fallen. I have failed. I will not reach him in time. And because of me, man is doomed. The creature jumped me without warning. Before I could dispatch it with my magic, it dealt me a mortal blow. Now all of Tamriel will face wanton destruction and death. His wrath will be unspeakable, but his anger immense. Kvatch was but a small amount of his true potential. All hope is lost. The Sunken One wakens, and soon man will feel his hunger. It's then our quest is complete, though no news of this Sunken One, and we note in our journal. On Slide's corpse, I've located his last journal entry. It seems he fell here believing he was truly going to meet his god and give an offering to him to help all of Tamriel. His death is a sad end to such a well-intended sojourn. Even before we can put the note in our pocket, the ground begins to shake. If we attempt to stand our ground, we're then assaulted by a unique variant of a storm Atronak, known as the Sunken One, that boasts a plethora of spells and it's level dependent based on our level, and is quite formidable depending on your difficulty setting. Instead, if we don't feel like being crushed by this elemental juggernaut, we can attempt to flee the caverns, with this Sunken One chasing us out all the while like a living boulder in Indiana Jones. We seem safe for now. Though it should be noted, if you attempt to fight the Sunken One, you could gather the void salts in which it drops like a normal Daedra. However, it, unlike most quest-related monsters, will respawn, giving credence to Slythe's assertion that this is a special god, somehow being manifested by the earth itself, shaking the ground beneath Kvatch. Slythe, unfortunately, living by made-up tenets that his family had conjured, no doubt believing that it would save them from the Daedra's wrath. No amount of offering can stop the Sunken One's carnage. However, if it had anything to do with Kvatch, is dubious at best. Unfortunately, it seems Slythe's Sarangi died for naught. And that leaves us at the end of this quest. Let me know what you think of the Sunken One in the comments below. As always, thanks for watching, and until next time, Traveller.